This point of view is the point of view where the counter-sniper team locally was posted. The gold arrow indicates where the shooter fired from. Why was the assailant not seen? When we were told that building was going to be covered.
The acting head of U.S. Secret Service testifying before Congress, you saw it happen yesterday, where he appeared to throw local snipers under the bus for not covering that building roof used by the gunman to shoot the former president, Donald Trump. And that is getting pushback from some local officials. Republican Texas Congressman Pat Fallon will join us on exactly that in moments. But first, let's get right to CB Cotton. She's live in Butler, Pennsylvania for us right now at the site of the shooting. CB, we've got brand new video coming in of that shooting taken by a witness.
Hi, Sandra, that's right. This is new chilling video that appears to show, take a look, you can see a shadowy figure that appears to be moving on the roof across from the stage where former President Donald Trump was speaking back on July 13th. We know from the FBI, would-be assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks traversed on roofs that were about 150 yards away from the rally stage. So perhaps this is Crooks who was captured in this video. In the meantime, though, we know there were communication failures during the rally, but now, based on the congressional testimony from Secret Service Acting Director Ronald Rowe, it's clear there were communication failures before, starting with the assumption from the Secret Service that local officers would cover the roof the gunman used. Now, local officials I'm speaking with say that assumption does not align with the assignment they were given. But the Secret Service, he showed a window that was maybe there, right here, exactly, looking out to the roof.
No, that's not where we were assigned. We're assigned over here in those first two windows.
So he's wrong about the assignment.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest thing to not lose sight of is, their job was on being on the outside unsecured perimeter, looking inward at those, that had already gone through security.
The local officials told Fox this was the view their two snipers had. You can see here, this is a different warehouse window than the one Rowe referred to on Capitol Hill. And the vantage point is at the ground level looking into the crowd and not onto the roof. Those who lead the local snipers say if the Secret Service had told them to place their snipers on the roof, they would have. Acting Director Rowe says he takes responsibility for what took place here. And he says moving forward, the Secret Service will be more direct with its local law enforcement partners. We reached out to the Secret Service about what we're hearing from local officials here in Butler, Pennsylvania, and they referred us back to the Acting Director's testimony. Back to you.
Okay, CB Cotton with that update from Butler for us. CB, thank you. John?
All right, Sandra, let's bring in Republican Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, who serves on the bipartisan task force investigating the assassination attempt of former President Trump. Congressman, thanks for being with us. I don't know if you could see this, but I want to play the video again that CB Cotton just played. Here's a shot. This looks like it's from, about the same level as the president was on when he was on the platform there. It's zoomed in, so everything looks closer. But you can see somebody on the roof, and yet we were told by the Secret Service acting director yesterday that the sniper teams couldn't see him because he was obscured by the peak in the roof. This would seem to blow a huge hole in that excuse.
Well, John, seeing that video is chilling. It's almost as if, you're looking at the Texas Book Depository building in November of 1963. Fortunately, this had a different outcome, not for the families, of course, of Corey Comparatori. But what we need more and better. We need more personnel, more trained personnel to guard the presidential candidates and other principles that the Secret Service protects. But also we need better planning. We need better coordination. We need better communication. We need to be leveraging technology. Anti-drone technology probably could have prevented this to begin with. Also, President Trump certainly and others there needs to be a counter surveillance team on the ground. There needs to be counter assault teams on the ground. That wasn't the case in Butler on the 13th. And we need to, and that's why we're going to have every stone, no stone will be left unturned. And we're going to go down to the granular level and see what happened in Butler.
Well, I'll tell you, looking at this new video as it's running as you're speaking here, it's just remarkable that you could see at least a head popping along that roof. Now, in terms of a drone, we heard from Ronald Rowe, the acting Secret Service director, yesterday, that the local police offered to fly a drone for surveillance of the event, and the Secret Service said thanks, but no thanks.
I'm dumbfounded, honestly, John, because there are so many security lapses that don't make a lick of sense. Why not have the locals fly a drone? Why not have the AGR building secured? It was the number one threat after the immediate buildings that had already been secured around the president. So, I recreated that scenario in Texas, what happened in Butler, and I had 15 out of 16 kill shots. So it is literally a miracle President Trump is alive today. We can never have this happen again, and we have to figure out the hows and the whys so we can get to the never happening again.
Again, just for folks at home, it looks a lot closer than it actually is, because when you zoom in, it compresses the video and the foreground and the background together, but that building's actually a lot further away than it looks. But in terms of where we are right now, Congressman, with the Secret Service and its ability to protect the former president and Kamala Harris, for that matter, which she goes into the campaign trail, a U.S.'s counter sniper is blowing the whistle on the Secret Service. He says another assassination attempt is likely. This is an email that Real Clear Politics obtained. It was dated Monday. The agency needs to change. If not now, when? The next assassination attempt in 30 days? Because we should all expect another attempt to happen before November. We've exposed our inability to protect our leaders due to our leadership. This whistleblower is saying you need to clean house there and start again.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's always easier to prevent something from happening than having to react to it. It's a lot safer in that regard. And I do think that you had a 20-year-old loner, untrained, with a week's notice, outsmarted and outmaneuvered the entire United States Secret Service. So there could be copycats that spring up because of this. And God forbid, John, if it had been a nefarious nation state with trained assassins, that could have been, led to a very different result. So these reforms need to be instituted immediately. And they do need to beef up security. They have 8,000 people that work in the Secret Service. They have over a $3 billion budget. They have to do an internal look right now, do a snapshot to mitigate some of this. But then Congress, you need that independent investigation because, as you know, agencies can kind of get in that cover your backside mentality. And we need to really examine, and we need to change the leadership because the people that got you in the hole ain't going to get you out of it.
I mean, though, if you look at the history of presidential assassinations and attempts going all the way back to Lincoln, it's always been a lone wolf who managed to get through the security perimeter. Congressman, we look forward to the report from the bipartisan task force. It'll be sometime in December. And keep us updated on the work, if you would.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.